Hey guys, James from Garibaldi Bushcraft here again, and just going to go over a quick video on flint steel and the tinder that I use and how I utilize it. So this is from my previous video. I showed the pouch that I made for my flint steel, and it's just a Gerber Strikeforce flint steel. It's the best one that I've encountered. Just splits in half like this, and then you've got your ferrocerium rod here and your striker there. And it gives you a really nice hot spark. I've used a ton of them, and this is the one that I've decided is sort of the best for day-to-day use. Another nice thing about it is it's got a little cap on the back that I keep my tinder in, and what I use for tinder is just jute twine. It's super easy to come by, it's very cheap, and you get a lot of it for the money that you pay. I made this little pouch just to hold a complete roll of jute twine, but yeah, just heavy-duty jute. You get like 190 feet of it for like $3, so it's a good buy, and it's super useful when it comes to tinder. And so in going along with the flint steel and the jute twine, I also use a little container of petroleum, which is just Vaseline that I just fill this thing up with. You take your jute, you just dip it in the Vaseline, and it'll take a flame that burns for a couple minutes to one that'll burn for substantially longer. So I'm just going to give a bit of an example. You just take your jute, fray it up like this, and this is just going to be jute by itself. So jute strictly by itself with a flint steel ignites super easily, and it'll burn. If you have really nice tinder, then that's all you'll really need just to get that dry tinder to go. But as you can see, it's pretty much already extinguished itself. Now it's pretty much just dust. So it'll catch a spark and it'll burn really quick, which is nice. But if your tinder's a little bit wet, then you want a flame that's going to be able to burn longer. And so that's where you take your jute and your Vaseline. All you have to do is just take the jute, dip it in the Vaseline, still leave some fibers that are exposed so that they catch a spark nicely, but the body of it you just want to work the Vaseline into, like so, and then you can stick that down, hit the fine fibers with a spark. That'll take off, and then it'll burn for a substantial longer amount of time. And it'll just kind of smolder like a candle. And that'll give you the time to take your slightly wetter or thicker material that you're trying to start a fire with and put it over top of it. Throws off a lot of heat, and it makes life a lot easier than if you're just going to use standard jute. As you can see, that flame's still going, just simmering away. And the more Vaseline and the bigger little pile of jute that you can get, the longer it's going to burn. I used a pretty small little pile there, but you can make it a lot bigger if you think that you're going to have a flame that burns for a longer period of time. But it's definitely a cheaper and easier attainable source of fire than if you were going to use something like those fire cubes you can get at survival stores, which is sort of a one-time use. This is as often as you need it. You can have it just how much jute you pack with you. So yeah, this is just a quick video on what I use for a flint steel. That's the Gerber Strikeforce, and what I use for tinder.